I'm live. G'day, guys. It's Scotty Z, and welcome to this adventure. Welcome to the Tribes United. This is the beginning of something very exciting for myself. It's been 17 years in the making. And if you have been on the journey with me for a while, you know I've spoken a lot about gathering the tribes, a lot about good people coming together, supporting each other, working together, co-creating the world that we want to live in. And now, at this junction of my life and this junction in the world, it's time for us to do this. We can't keep talking about coming together. We can't keep talking about working together to create the future that we want. We have to do it now. So this is the first episode. And if you guys are coming in live, because I know a lot of you guys are catching this live, please leave me a comment. I'm here to connect with you. And if you do want to join this movement, I'll just pop that up there, tribesunited.org. Head over to tribesunited.org and join this movement. But first of all, what is this whole thing about? G'day, guys, coming in live. Hey, Larissa, good to see you. All right, I'm going to not stay in the comments too much, but I want you guys to know that I'm here with you. But you may be catching this on a podcast. You may be catching this on YouTube, lots of places. Good to see you too. It is my mission to get this out there. But what is this? What is the Tribes United? First of all, where am I? What is this crazy background that I got going on? A bit of plywood and a dinky old kitchen. I'm actually sitting in probably, I don't know, it's about 7 meters by 3. So it's probably 20 square meter tiny house cabin on a piece of land, 3 acres of land in an eco village in Russia. So I am Australian, obviously, but I live in Russia. And in this first episode with you guys, I actually want to share with you this vision that I have and this life that I'm living. And I want to invite you into joining this adventure with me. So I am sitting in the middle of the forest. If you head over to my page, you can see a little bit of what I'm doing. If you subscribe here as well, wherever you are listening to this, I will be sharing a lot more of this adventure. But we are currently in an eco village. In an Anastasia eco village, for anyone that knows about the Anastasia Ringing Cedar books, the movement out of Russia. My wife is Russian. My son was born in Russia. We moved here 13 months ago, our second time living here, to get away from the tyranny of Australia. And we bought land here. We've got 3 acres, just over a hectare of land, 1.3 hectares, right on the edge of the forest in a 300 family eco village. We're currently building our house. So on Monday, it's Friday today, on Monday, the driveway goes in and we begin building our home here. An off-grid, sustainable home, wood-fired, everything we need to, live sustainably here. And over the next 12 months, well, mostly summer, probably about 5 to 6 months, we're going to be building the house. And then over winter, we'll build out the inside of the house. And our vision here is to live in community, to live with these beautiful people who are living off-grid, who are living sustainably, not only growing food, but growing each other, growing families. And that's always the vision that I've had. And that's the life that I want to live, is to grow my family in a community of people that are loving each other. And I'm very blessed to have created this in my life. Let's say that I have been attracting this, but I've been taking action, and I had to leave Australia. I've been living overseas for 20 years. And in this episode, I'm going to dive into a little bit about my journey. And why you should listen to me, right? Like, who is this guy, Scotty Z? You might have seen me before. Maybe you got no idea who I am. So I'm going to do a bit of an introduction, but I want you to know this is the life that I'm living. And I know a lot of us have this dream, have this vision of living in community, of helping each other. This eco village, we say in Russian, poselenia. This poselenia has, as I said, 300 families. There is a school. There is a town hall. The school is part of the town hall. Last night, we went to a concert. There's probably about 100 people, kids running around, classical music, violin and cello and piano, outdoors, sunset here at 9 p.m. at night. So it's outdoors. Had a beautiful vegetarian buffet. And it's just beautiful people. My neighbor here is a full-time gardener. My neighbor here they both built their own homes. Very handy people, and they help each other. And that's what I want to be a part of. And I see the decades to come. I'm 41 years old. By the time I'm 60, the world is going to change very, very fast. And you know that, and I know that. So I see the only future that we have is to live like this and to help each other and to come together in local communities Now, I have a vision with Permacare that I'm going to share with you, that we have three versions, excuse me, of a village, because we have to live in villages and we have to unite these villages across the world. That's the Tribes United. There are tribes on tribes right now. You have a group of people that you call your tribe. You probably don't use the word tribe, maybe you do, but you have a group of people that is a tribe. If we're going to throw a party, wouldn't you invite all of the friends to invite their people to come together to have a party? Of course you would. You'd say, hey, you invite 10 people, you invite 10 people, I'll invite 10 people. Now we've got 30 people. Let's have a party, right? What if we did that with all of the movements that are happening across the world? What if we went to all of the thought leaders, all of the speakers, the coaches, the authors, the people that are teaching and guiding people? What if we went to all of the Telegram groups that we all hang out in, all of the Facebook groups we all hang out in, and we all came together in one place and we actually worked together to share inspiration and share resources? Now, I'm not saying to lose your identity and all of a sudden follow me. I don't want anybody to follow me. That's not what I'm interested in. What I want is for people to drop the ego, and I'm still working on that too. That drop this ego that keeps us separate. Drop this idea that I have to be special in some way, that I have to be the leader, I have to be on top. What a load of nonsense that is. That's keeping us divided. What if we just drop that idea that I have to be the guy on stage and I have to be the leader, and we just come together and support each other? We sit in circle like tribes have always sat in circle, and we all have a place in that circle. Some people will speak, others will listen. Some people will care for children and others will chop wood and carry water. Whatever needs to be done, we can do it in harmony together. That's what makes a tribe strong. And right now, we have to drop the divide and conquer. We have to let go of the ego that keeps us separate. You know that, I know that. I'm speaking the words that you already know are true. And if you don't, have a look. We have enough of us. There are millions, hundreds of millions. We don't even know how many people live on this planet, right? The 7 billion thing is probably a lie. Most of what we've told is a lie. But there are so many of us that want to live in harmony, that want to help each other, that want to grow families together. So let's do that now. And if this resonates with you, share this video. You can hit share right now, or this audio if you're listening, and share it to these places that we know our people are hanging out. You're probably like, whoa, what's the agenda first, Scotty? The agenda is to actually live and thrive at a time where so many people are waking up. So many people are waking up and saying, hang on a second, I think I've been lied to. I think I've been, like, my whole life is a lie. I think that I've been manipulated and controlled by the powers that shouldn't be, and I've had enough of it. And again, there are millions and millions of people waking up to this. There's a lot of people that aren't waking up to this. But I tell you, there's a lot more than we actually know that are just like us. So what if we came together and we said, enough is enough of the divide and conquer? We're going to work together to build the life that we want to live. Because I tell you right now, the world is going to change dramatically. The last 2 years has been a warm-up. You know it's true, and I know it's true. The last 2 years has been a warm-up to what is coming. What is coming is potentially worse than we saw in the 1930s with the Great Depression. There will be food shortages, there will be energy shortages, but I'm not here to focus on the negative. I'm here to say, okay, well, if that's the reality, what are we going to do about it? Because I'm not just going to sit back and, one, go through the hardship, or two, sit back and watch as other people go through the hardship. I'm a solutions-oriented leader of my life, and likely you are too. So I'm going to do something about it. What am I going to do about it? Well, first of all, is I'm going to do the inner work to figure out who I am, because I'm not the limited beliefs that I have been taught. You are not the limited beliefs that you have been taught. We are infinite creators of our reality. All of the ancient texts teach us this. The mystics of today teach us this. We can create whatever we want. And yet we've been programmed and conditioned to play small, to play little. And therefore, we're constantly coming from a place of lack and scarcity rather than living the abundance that is life. So first of all, we have to recognize who we truly are as Great Spirit. We are drops of the divine. The divine is everything. The divine is the creator of all. We are part of the divine, manifesting through this binary reality. My left and right hand, my up and down, my inside, my outside, my binary life, my masculine and feminine, I'm co-creating in this reality through this matrix. But I am Great Spirit. I am God, a drop of that infinite ocean of bliss. And so, first of all, we must recognize the infinite power that we have to create any life that we want. And I'm not saying that because I read a few books. And don't worry, I've read a lot of books. I'm doing it because over the last 20 years, I have created exactly the life that I want. And I'm not talking about materially, that's a part of it. But I have become the person that I can do what I want to do in my reality. I've traveled the world and done all of the adventures that I want to do. I have an amazing wife after, having a lot of hardship with relationships. I'm fit, strong, young adult who leads a movement because I became the person that can do this. I've had to humble my ego a lot, and I'm still going through it. You can probably hear it in my words. I still have a lot of work to do to humble my ego, to manifest fully as spirit, but I'm able to live the life that I want to live, including now building my home in an eco village and growing food and growing my family. This is the life that I want to live, and so therefore I am creating it. We can create whatever we want. As soon as we recognize that and do the work to become that person, and that's an ongoing journey, and I invite you into that journey. And again, if you're interested, head over to tribesunited.org and become part of this movement. But from there, what does it look like? For me, it's permacare. We have to build sustainable communities. There's 3 layers of that sustainable community in permacare. The first layer, the center, is the urban suburban communities. Not everyone can move to Russia and build off-grid in a sustainable eco-village. That's the third layer, right? But a lot of people are going to be living urban suburban lives, and we need to have less reliance on the system. Nod your head if you agree with that. Less reliance on the system. We need to pull back. So what if we start building tribes around our local community where we can move away from the system by bartering, by helping each other? If you've got skills and they have resources, but you don't have the money to trade, you're stuck. So why don't you barter them? I'll help do your electricity. I'm an electrician, whatever. And you give me some food that you've grown in your backyard. We don't need money to do that. Let's just help each other. That's barter. Let's grow food and share resources amongst each other. Now, right now, you're probably thinking, well, it's not a big deal, Scotty. I guarantee you over the next few years, with what is coming, that will be a big deal. And you want to plant seeds now. When was the best time to plant a fruit tree? 30 years ago. When was the second time to plant a fruit tree? Second best time? Right now. Plant seeds now for the harvest to come. Build community now. So the first is the urban suburban communities. From there is your rural communities. So that's your hour, 2 hours out of town. You can drive there. I'm a bit of a rural community here. I'm not remote. I am a second ring. My major city is 45-minute drive away. It's not a big city, but it's got everything we need, right? So in that, you can have your communities of people that maybe have, like we have, we got a hectare of land at 3 acres, and there's others around us that have their land, and we're supporting each other. Great. So let's build those communities. And you can still drive to the city to work, but you can start getting away from the urban centers that will maybe have greater hardships. Then finally, you've got your rural communities. That's way out, 8 hours away, completely off grid. Places like Australia, New Zealand, you want to find some of those rural communities as well, and maybe build relationships with them if you're not living there, and actually work with those rural communities to build infrastructure and have a place where you can disappear, get out of the urban centers if you need to. So these 3 rings of permacare, but the crux there is permacare comes from permaculture. So permanent agriculture, grow food, work with nature to grow food naturally so that you have an abundant supply. So nature provides for you. Okay. If you look at it this way, air is in abundance. I could do with some of them after talking so much. Air is in abundance. Okay. There is absolutely no shortage of air. That's the primary thing that we need. You can rest your head and sleep wherever you need to. That's the second thing that we need. Water literally falls from the sky. Water literally falls from the sky. Water we need. And food finally grows on trees. They say money doesn't grow on trees. Yeah, but food does. Food grows on trees. Air, sleep, water, food, finally shelter. I mean, here in Russia, it's -20, -30, and people have been surviving here for thousands of years. without much technology. Shelter is not that big a deal. It's pretty easy to find shelter. We live in an abundant reality. It is our minds that have been manipulated to believe in scarcity. Scarcity is not real. It is not real. It is a man-made concept to control and restrict our ability to create anything we want in an abundant reality. Okay, so permaculture is the working with the land that we're given, working with nature to yield that abundance. All right, and then the care of permacare is let's care for one another. So we're not just growing food, but we're growing each other. Permacare is the next evolution. It is being together in community. Again, urban, suburbanly, right? You can do this in your urban, suburban environments. You don't need to go off grid to do it. In your little backyard right now, in your local community, at the local town hall or the local cafe, or in your living room, care for one another, help each other to grow. That's permacare. And then from that tribe that you have in your community, we have a tribe of 300 families where I live, but I also have tribes online. And you have your local tribes and your tribes online. Let's come together. And that's where you stand right now. This that I'm opening to you. And again, if you head over to tribesunited.org, you're welcome to join this movement. Become part of this movement. Become part of this journey. We're all here. We feel this vision of what is possible in our lives. But it is up to us to go and take action to create it. So head to tribesunited.org and join this movement. Now, I'm going to make this very, very short because in the next episode, I'm going to go into who am I and why should you actually listen? Why should you be part of this journey with me? It has been 20 years of walking my own path, of becoming my own man. And for 17 years, I've carried this vision and taken action to bring people together to build community, to live in harmony with the nature that we are. We are nature, to live in harmony with who we are. Okay. And to be together, supporting one another. Now, again, right now, maybe I'm ahead of the curve here. Maybe you're thinking, Scotty, I'm just trying to feed my family. Great. We have solutions for that as well. Okay. I'm feeding my family too in these times, but we are better together. And that's what this movement is about. So welcome to Permacare and the Tribes United. Welcome to this movement. Welcome to the first step. You'll find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, maybe not, a little bit. Definitely Telegram, okay? Rumble, BitChute, wherever you are, head to tribesunited.org, find your platform where you want to connect and connect with us. Join this movement. We have to do this now. There isn't another choice. It's up to us to create the world that we want to live in. It's up to you and me to really finally say enough is enough of the system being in charge. And it's time for us to come back to our innate strength of who we truly are as divine creators. Link arms in a circle, do the work to drop the ego to build Permacare and the Tribes United, whatever you want to call it. Care for Mother, the planet. She'll give us all we need. Care for one another, the children, and unite as a global community to do this together. Permacare and the Tribes United. My name is Scotty Z. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me and with us. Okay, we're in this together. So if you feel the way that I feel, please join this movement. Share this with someone that you love. Tag somebody so that they can enjoy this too and join this movement. And I'll see you in the next episode, again, where we'll go into a little bit more about who am I and why should you actually join me on this adventure, because I think you'll find the last 20 years of my life is both entertaining and like a bit mind-boggling. It's like, how do you do all that stuff? You know, people have said, you got to write a book, Scotty. And it's like, yeah, I'll write a book one day, but I'm still living the book. Okay. So I'll share a bit about what that book looks like. And otherwise, I'm going to go and enjoy my nature around me, enjoy my family, and I encourage you to do the same. And I will see you in the next adventure. Cheers.